morning, everybody, and welcome to Women Lead TV, brought to you by Connected Women of Influence. And welcome everybody that is also listening to our recording. My name is Ana Nieto. I am your host today. The name of our TV show series is Manifesting Magnetic Mindfulness. And today our show is going to be very fun. So definitely stay with us because we're going to be talking about finding and maintaining a fulfilling conscious relationship that for us women is very important. And our special guest is Lumari. Hi, Lumari. How are you today?
Hello, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Great having you. And I think this is a very important subject to talk about, even though we are here on a entrepreneurial network, right, of women. But how important is to have a fulfilling, intimate relationship, right, in our lives to be able to balance that. And I'm not a big fan of the word balance, but maybe harmonize, right, with our entrepreneurial spirit and with our lifestyle of creating a successful business. So I'm super excited to hear you talking today about dating is shopping. I've been reading your book here, Shopping for a Man, that I want to show to everybody because it's a lot of fun and you can get a lot of conscious ideas and tools from Lumari to help you in your search or also in keeping and maintaining a very conscious relationship. I just want to read a little bit about Lumari and then we'll get started with some ideas and questions here for our audience. But I know that you are a creation catalyst and an intuitive life coach, and that you are also a award-winning and best-selling author, not just for this book, but I know you have many others. And you are also a person that has helped for 25 years help other coaches and other leaders to actually create a high vibe. I love that, to align with their higher soul callings, and you delight in mentoring your clients and community to create the bigger vision and make a positive difference in our world. So thank you
Yeah,
so much for all that you do. I know that
thank you.
you are a life coach, a psychic, and a creation catalyst. And I want to hear, first, because we are talking about this book, It's Shopping for a Man, how did your personal experience and spiritual guidance inspire you to write this book, Shopping for a Man? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. Well, just like anybody else, I dated some really not appropriate men. And the man before my husband, just everything was crashing. Everything I would think would be present was not. Not kind, not honest, not all of those things. It's a long story that doesn't matter anymore. But after the relationship, I just meditated and tuned in because I just didn't want to be that upset. And the divine said to me, dating is shopping. And I burst out laughing. It was the funniest thing I had ever heard about dating because here I am broken up with the guy that I thought was the guy. And it's like, shopping. I know how to shop. And my mother was the queen of shopping. I mean, she would shop for everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in the family. She knew everybody's size, what they liked, what colors, and she would buy stuff in the. I mean, it was just like crazy shopping. I'm like, I can do that.
Mhm.
I know how to shop. I know what I need. I know the criteria when I'm shopping, what's good for me, what isn't good for me. So I actually sat and wrote a book for myself. It wasn't supposed to be in the world, it was just for me.
Mhm.
And I used everything that's written in this book. I used it for myself and I found my perfect man, and we've been married for a really long time, and we wake up every morning more in love than we were the day before.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I know that because I've been reading your book. I'm almost there with it. And I remember in the first chapter you talk about that, like your mother being, somebody that actually enticed you, to this book, and all the shopping tools and trips that you guys took as you being a little girl going with her and how you learn about it. And applying that to dating shopping, for me, it's made it a lot more fun. And I have to be honest, I'm not a shopper per se, but just the definition of it, of thinking I want to take home something that really fits me well, right?
Yeah.
Going with those ideas and some of the tools that you give in your book. And you talk about making a list. Is that something that you
Yeah.
recommend? I know can you talk a little bit about that, about what
Yeah.
shopping here for?
Well,
Yes.
what's really funny about making a shopping list is you're not talking about the outside things. You're talking about inner qualities that that person has, or that you would love a person to have in your life.
Mm.
Now, when I made my shopping list, there were over 100 things on the list, but they were qualities. And the three most important qualities: one, he's madly in love with you. No, women forget that one. Everyone forgets that one. They might think of all the different other qualities, but hey, madly in love with you is number one.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be with someone who you feel, because after the dating process goes on, you will know whether they're madly in love with you. But if that's number one, you have a criteria. For me, number two, sense of humor. I like to laugh. So if I'm with somebody that doesn't like to laugh, I know right away it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually have the different things. When you write your list and write as many things as you want to be able to write qualities. Is he caring? Is he compassionate? Does he have a worldview that it complements you? All of those things. Then you can see, and writing the list is also an exercise for you as well, because you probably don't know half of those things about yourself either.
Yeah, I think it's very clarifying, right? When you actually write it down and you're like, oh, I don't really know what I want. Let me see what it makes you think. And then one other thing that I know you talk on your book that was very interesting is looking at your closet. And sometimes we keep clothes that we don't ever wear, and but they're still been there, right, for a long time.
Yes.
And it's that those false beliefs and those things that we actually have to let go, right, in order to actually bring in the quality clothes that are going to fit us and that we're going to keep for the longest. So that was something too that I love that you explain in your book. Very, very funny, but very clearly. And again, it actually makes you approach this in a very fun and open way, as opposed to just the constriction that maybe some people can feel, when they've been dating for years and not with a lot of success. And they are still very open to find that conscious man, their soulmate. So, because we are here with our entrepreneurial women,
Yeah.
so what do you think is so important to have this conscious, fulfilling relationship for a woman that is entrepreneur, that is also, success oriented, and that wants to harmonize those two things in her life? What do you think
I
that has bring to some of the people that you work for and you work
Well,
with?
I think one of the things that's really exciting about it is if you work with the book and you look inside it and you want a partner that is supportive of you, that
Mhm.
you love being with. So in business, when we're entrepreneurs, there's lots of things we have to take care of. There's lots of things to pay attention to. There's all the different things that go on. When you have a partner that you really resonate with and resonates with you, you have a life partner and a business partner, even if they're not in your business. They are your business partner because they're supporting you.
Hmm.
And when you have a life partner in this way, you can ask them questions and they'll tell you the truth.
Hmm.
So
Uh,
when you're going down a path in business or trying to please people in your business that maybe you shouldn't be pleasing, that person is going to look at you and tell you the truth more than anybody else.
hmm.
That's powerful. Besides, having someone that loves you around all the time is really good.
I love what you said, actually, having that business partner, even if it's not part of your business, but they understand you well and they actually know when they need to be honest with you about something, right, that is not sitting well with you and your business. That's so important, to have that person can reflect that back at you. Beautiful. So are there do you think that are different ages that can benefit from your book, or this is to everybody? Do you can you speak to that?
Well, I think that if I look at it in different ages, then I think first it benefits all ages, but then you're going to go into it in a different way. So if you're in your 20s and 30s, right? If, as far as I'm concerned, you're still young and dating because high school dating doesn't even count. That's just practice knowing people. When you're in your 20s and your 30s, now you're more independent, you're more looking at where you want to grow in your life. And when you know these things, then you can grow in a relationship and know how to choose. And especially when you're talking about the toss hold keep, which is about the ideas in your closet, right? You
Mhm.
have certain ideas at those ages. Now you look at 30 to 40 or so. All right, you've been around. If you're not married yet, you really need the skills to get rid of the people who are just fluff. He might be cute, but nah, doesn't have that or doesn't have this synchronicity with you. And then when you look at women who are in their 60s and beyond, well, you've probably been through relationships, but now you're a completely different woman.
Mhm.
You've been in this world all this time. Your beliefs, your ideas, your way of being is different. And coming into it, shopping for a man at those ages, you have a whole other way of looking.
Mm,
And the
yes.
shopping tips always work.
Exactly. And we shop differently when we are in our 20s than when we're in our 40s or 50s or 60s, right? So it's
Yes.
applying those tools to what age and also the experiences that you've had. I think they can bring a lot of what you can take into the shopping bag as well with you. So, bringing it back a little bit to business, because I feel like some of the tools and ideas and thoughts and processes that you share in your book could also be applied to business, right? Because sometimes when we are looking for our ideal clients and the people that we want to work with, it's not that different than when we are looking for a partner in a way, right? Of the
Right.
concepts that we need to look at. So what are your advice with this, and can the book be used for something like this, or do you have any
Oh,
other ideas that you would like to share with our audience in that regard?
yes, definitely. And that makes it all so fun because, again, for me, shopping is fun
Mm,
because you don't have to take it home. You don't have to spend the money. And if you do take it home, make sure you have the receipt because you might want to return it. Right? And that's the same. Think of it as clients and people that you do business with. You might look at your list in the qualities and the way you want to, the people you want to work with, and then somebody comes up and they're not appreciative of you. They're overly demanding or whatever it is. You can go, okay, yeah, not my client.
mhm,
I don't mind if somebody looks at what I do and says, no, that's not working for me. That's one thing. The other attitude things and everything else is like, no, not my client. Thank you very much for being interested in me. Have a nice day. Find someone else,
yes.
you know? And
Mhm,
it gives you that energy as well to be able to look at it. And also in the book, there's things about, your beliefs and what you're attached to and what you're not attached to. You can go through the exact same things
mhm,
and look at it and go, oh, wow, I used to think business was like this, but I don't want my business to be like that. I don't want to have to do that.
mhm,
And then all of a sudden lights go off and you go, oh, wow, I can create my business in my own way. Obviously, it's still business. So there's certain things that you have to do,
mhm.
but it's a whole other way of participating and aligning your business around you personally, which is really important.
Yeah, when you as you're talking about this, what the words that came to mind were personal power, and I know you describe a lot in your book in that regard how it is all coming from the inside of how we see ourselves, our value, how we actually perceive the things that we want to achieve in life, right? And it's not different from business as we are giving it this little twist, because I think you're right that many times we have maybe worked with clients that perhaps we knew that they're not going to trust us, or they're not going to be somebody that's going to respect even our work. Like you said, one thing is like, hey, what you do doesn't work for me. Another thing is when you can sense that there's no trust, there's not really belief that it can work, right? So
Yeah.
it's a good way to actually assess it and take account of what are the people that you want to really work with and be with in many other ways. I love that you said that you can always, you're just shopping, you don't have to take it home, and you can always have the receipt ticket, it back. All those things I think are just little fun things that when we are looking at this dating, is actually making it a little bit more fun. And again, in regards to adjusting to clients, is very similar in a lot of ways too. So tell me, apart from this practicality, is there another like profound lesson that you are hoping that our audience gets from our conversation today?
Well, one thing that's also fun for all the mothers who have daughters, this can be the way you teach your daughters to date. So I'm just going to say that because a lot of times that's another level that you might have an idea of how it should be, but girls will love this.
Mhm.
Teenage girls are going to love shopping for a little. Now, in the broader sense of how this relates to your life, when you start looking at these different things and you have these questions, because one of the things that's wonderful about the book is that there is guidance, and the guidance is fun, but there's also questions that you go inward. So you're exploring. It's a shopping journey. And you can apply it to your life because you can look around you and go, I decided this a long time ago on the belief that X, Y, and Z. I don't even believe that. I didn't even know I didn't believe that anymore. Oh, I don't have to do that. Or you can look and go, oh, whoa, this part is missing and I didn't even realize it was missing. Yeah, I'm another person now. I want more of this.
Mhm.
And the whole book is based really, it's also a very spiritual book with humor because it is a journey of your life.
Mhm. Yeah, and I love that because I think one of the things that has been resonating with me lately very strongly is like bringing in the one means bringing in myself first, and then
Yes.
once I have that deep love connection, right, is when that realization happens that you don't need that to be fulfilled from the outside, but it's just getting to know yourself really well that I think it gives you the strength. And talking about manifesting, magnetic mindfulness here, right? It will bring that person that really connects with your true values and who you really are and what you need. So that's beautiful. How let us know how people can contact you now. I know you have a free gift also if people would like to continue a conversation, get your
Oh,
book,
yes.
get to teach their daughters to go shopping. Can you tell us how to find you?
Yes. So on my website, lumari.com, right on the first page, there's a free gift. It's called Personal Sacred Space. And it's a meditation that allows you to move into, like you were just talking about, moving into more of you, releasing the distractions, and creating your own energy, your own being as a sacred space in your life. So all the energy of who you are, everything else gets cleared away. And it creates a space, like in a way, you could call it like you are the temple of you.
Mm.
And you just go into this meditation and just release any of the conversations that are no longer beneficial. And you can do this kind of meditation. Most of my clients and friends do this meditation when they wake up in the morning and when they go to sleep at night. It clears everything away and it gives you space, more space to be you.
Yeah.
And I love that from my clients and the work that I do because I want to embrace you and I want you to embrace you.
Yes. And you just hit on something I always tell my clients as well, that our bodies are temple. And as a fitness trainer and health coach, is something that I believe deeply, that the way we treat our body is really how it's going to reflect, an energy around us. But it was very interesting when you were talking about that, creating that sacred space for yourself. And we all have this experience, right? When we are looking for something, and sometimes if we are not in the right mood, we don't find it for days and weeks and months. And then suddenly we just sit down with it. We've truly desired and we know that is happening. And then we go outside and there it is, right? That it is, whatever it is, the piece of clothing, the ball, the whatever it is that you're looking for. In this case, we are here to talk about manifesting that soulmate, right? Intensely.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. So one last thing, one last question, Lumari. When clients work, I know that you work with clients all around the globe. So how do
Yes.
you help them create, this higher calling and that high vibe that you were talking about? I smell on my roses because I know it's a high vibration, but how do you do it with your
Yes. Well, when I work with a client, and I like to call it play, um, we look at all the different aspects of their being. So part of it might be about their business because we're creating a vibration that is who they are now, where they want to play, and what their higher calling is, because we do have a higher calling, we just don't usually know it.
Mm,
So other people might call it a next phase, but for me, this is a soul calling. So it might be a different phase in your business, but it is a new aspect of your being that now is ready to come forward. And so we do that because I channel creation frequencies, which I call alawashka. I channel these frequencies. So when you are creating, you have creation frequencies to empower you in that creation. So you're not struggling to create. You actually have the vibrations we create together that create that. Some people use the word manifest in the moment so that you can go through that in your business and your life. And for me and for everybody else that I work with, it's in harmony.
mhm.
So there's no sacrifice there. I
Yeah.
don't believe in that.
I know. I believe that our business is an extension of ourselves. So whatever
Yeah.
it is that we do with our internal environment is what we are going to see created in an external environment. So beautifully put. So nice to have you here with this wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for coming. And ladies, you know now dating is shopping, shopping for a man. Any other tips and tools? The book is great. You can contact Lumari directly. That's our show for today. I'd like to thank you very much, Lumari, for being here with us as a special guest. And thank you for all our viewers that are watching and for the ones that are watching the recording. It's been a pleasure to be here today. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. Thank